Welcome back to Thimbleberry U. It is episode number 9. I am John J. Gay. I'm joined again by Amy Walls from Thimbleberry Financial. Good to be back with you, Amy.
It's good to be here. I always enjoy this.
So in previous episodes, we've talked a lot about Roth conversions. It's a really hot topic now, especially with the passage of the Secure Act recently. And Roth conversions are, I don't want to say they're the in thing to do, but it's a big topic right now. However, there are a lot of problems and mistakes that people can make with Roths.
There's a lot of misunderstandings out there. We get a lot of new clients coming in that may have tried to do something or maybe thinking about doing something, and they can just get themselves into a little hot water.
So let's start off with some of the major common mistakes that people make with Roths.
One is not paying attention to the income limits on a Roth.
Okay.
We could definitely talk about that. And then thinking that they can convert IRA money to a Roth and undo it if they want. Then assuming that a Roth 401k or 403b or 457 account is the same as a Roth IRA.
Which it's not, and we'll cover that.
It is not. And then also not understanding how distributions come out of a Roth account.
Very important. Okay, so let's start with the first one you mentioned, which it sounds like a good problem to have. You're making too much money. How does that gum up the works when it comes to a Roth?
Yes. So there are income limits to contributing directly to a Roth IRA. And in 2020, if you're single or head of household, if you make under $124,000, you can contribute the full $6,000 or $7,000 if you're over 50 to the Roth IRA. And if you make over $139,000, you can't contribute at all to a Roth IRA.
Okay.
Then if you're somewhere in between $124,000 and $139,000 of income, you're in what's called the phase-out range. So you won't be able to do the full amount, but based on your income, you'll be able to do some amount.
Got it.
Those numbers, if you're married filing jointly, the phase-out starts at $196,000 and ends at $206,000.
Okay. Those income limits, to make your contributions to a Roth, once you're above those upper limits, you're kind of out of luck when it comes to making those contributions.
To make a contribution directly, and this is where the backdoor Roth strategy comes in that we've talked about previously. If you're even in the phase-out limit, it may make sense to look at backdoor Roths to simplify your life.
And explain again how this would work.
So how it works is that you contribute to a traditional IRA, and you don't deduct that contribution.
Okay.
And then you convert that contribution into a Roth IRA. So by making the non-deductible IRA contribution, you've put after-tax money into the IRA, and now you're converting it to the Roth IRA that is also after-tax.
Okay.
So there's no tax consequence for the conversion, if you will, if you did it right away and there's no earnings. It's really just a couple of extra steps that you have to take to get the money into the Roth.
So by taking that money originally into the IRA after taxes, it's essentially the way you would do it if you were putting it into a Roth. You just have to go into the regular first and then convert it.
Yes.
That kind of ties into the idea of this undoing conversions, the old Control-Z, if you will, in Microsoft Word. And this recently changed as far as what you can undo, right?
Yes. There used to be some really complex strategies out there around doing multiple Roth conversions in a single year, and then at the end of the year, you'd look and undo some of them. That all went away in 2017. And now the decision to convert a Roth IRA is permanent once it's been acted upon.
There is no undo, there is no mulligan.
There is not. Now, it is important to note, though, that undoing a conversion is different, or the idea of undoing a conversion is different than recharacterizing a conversion.
Okay.
So let's say you do contribute directly to a Roth IRA and find out you made too much. Well, you can recharacterize that money and make it move from the Roth IRA to a traditional IRA.
Okay.
But that wasn't money that was converted. It's money that was contributed.
Okay. You said that Roth retirement plans through an employer are different. We've talked about that in previous episodes a little bit, but how is that the case?
Roth IRA limits and traditional IRA limits are the same. If you're under 50, you can contribute $6,000 annually, and if you're over 50, $7,000 annually. As long as you have earned income, unless your spouse has earned income, and then you're really using their income for your contributions, called a spousal contribution.
Okay.
The employer-sponsored plans have higher limits. And those are $19,500 if you're under age 50. And for those 50 and above in 2020, it's $26,000.
Okay.
So the first thing to know is that you can do both a Roth employer-sponsored retirement plan contribution and a Roth IRA if your employer has adopted the Roth provisions to your 401k, 403b, or 457 plan.
Okay.
And your income allows you to contribute to that Roth IRA.
Okay.
They also have different rules. The employer-sponsored plans all have required minimum distributions. And earlier you alluded to the Secure Act, which changed that from 70 and a half, meaning you have to take distributions at 70 and a half to age 72.
So now you don't have to take those until you're age 72, provided you've hit that number after January 1st of this year.
Yes. Roth IRAs have no required minimum distribution.
Okay.
So you will not be forced to take money out while you are alive.
Because in a Roth, the taxes have already come out on the way in, so the government's not making you take it out so they can get their pound of flesh, if you will, because they got it on the way in as opposed to the way out.
That's part of it, but even a traditional IRA, let's say you make non-deductible IRA contributions to a traditional IRA and you don't convert them, those will still have a required minimum distribution.
Okay, good to know.
So it's just a special little feature of the Roth IRA. Another difference is how you can get access to your money.
Yeah.
With a Roth IRA, you can access your contributions at any time. That's your basis.
Okay.
Okay. We're not talking about a Roth conversion here, but a Roth IRA. With a Roth conversion, you have access to your basis after 5 years. They're basically saying, hey, look, we gave you a way to get the money in here. It needs to sit here for a little bit before you have that same flexibility and freedom with it.
Got it. Okay.
With an employer-sponsored plan, you can access that money via loan.
Okay.
Now, I think it's always important to say here, too, if we're talking about these accounts, they're really intended for the long term.
Yeah.
And if you're going to need money in the short term or the medium term, it's probably not the best place to put your money.
In a retirement account for the long term. Got it. Okay.
Absolutely. Because these are retirement accounts.
Right.
And then distributions can be different, too. And that's more a bigger kettle of fish to fry, if you will.
Okay, sounds good. So we're talking about distributions at this point. You've said it's a big kettle of fish. It's kind of the problem area, one of the problem areas with regard to these Roth mistakes. Why is that?
There's a 5-year rule associated with Roths.
Okay.
Or with Roth IRAs. And what that really means is the account needs to be open 5 years in order to access your earnings.
Mm-hmm.
So you also, though, have to pay attention to age. If you are under the age of 59 and a half, then you can get at your basis if it's a contributory account, but your earnings would be taxed and they would have a 10% penalty on them.
Ouch.
Yes. If you're over 59 and a half, the earnings will be taxed, but the 10% penalty goes away because you've reached that magic threshold of 59 and a half.
Got it. Okay.
Another thing with distributions that can get confusing, and I'm going to keep it a little bit high level here, is there's an order at which they come out of a Roth IRA. You can't decide which money you want to take.
Okay.
So the first money that comes out is your contributions or your basis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So even if you have a Roth IRA and a Roth conversion IRA, your contributions are going to come out first.
Okay.
Second money that's going to come out are the conversions. Just a moment ago, we talked about they need to wait 5 years.
Okay.
That's important to know. And then the last thing that will come out are the earnings.
The money that it's earned while it's been sitting in there.
Yes.
Okay.
And so sometimes people might think, oh, hey, I can take these dollars out. Well, the tax consequences might be different given the combination of things I just talked about.
Got it. Okay.
And then also with Roth IRAs on distribution, it's important to note that you can't pay that money back.
Once it's out, right?
Absolutely.
No, I'm really glad we had this conversation today, Amy. I've been thinking about a Roth conversion myself. I mentioned in our last episode, I'll be 40 this year. I have some money that's been saved up, and I'm trying to, and my wife and I have been talking about this, and my wife works in corporate finance, so she's a numbers person. So we've started to look at the numbers, and we're going to talk to our financial person about this as well. But it comes down to what we always say, which is that every single individual situation is different. And you've got all these factors that we've just been talking about for the last 10 minutes that play into it, but no two situations are alike. And that is really why you need to talk to somebody like Amy at Thimbleberry Financial. And what are the best ways to reach you?
So people can reach us at thimbleberryfinancial.com or give us a call at 503-610-6510.
Amy, always a pleasure. This is, again, important information. And if you have any questions about the stuff we talked about today, this Roth stuff is really complicated, and there are a lot of different variables that play into it. Please give Amy a call, reach out to her on her website, and have her walk you through your individual situation. Always a pleasure, Amy, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good, Jag. Look forward to it.
Registered representative. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Thimbleberry Financial are not affiliated. Cambridge does not offer tax or legal advice. Thimbleberry Financial is located at 650 Northeast Holiday Street, Suite 1600, Portland, Oregon, 97232.